All right, all right, all right.
All right, all right,
All
all
right.
right.
All right.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Coaster Talk. I think this is what, like episode 7, maybe? I couldn't really tell you. It's been like a year since I've done one of these, and today I have my cousin Zach with me.
What's up, guys?
So, a little while ago, an embarrassingly long amount of time ago, Zach and I went to Virginia to do nothing other than ride some coasters. This
Heck
happened
yeah.
in August, and it is now January, and we are finally recording this. we have been trying to record this for, I don't know, probably like 2 months now.
Yeah, probably at least 2 months.
And everything has just gone wrong, or not in my favor, to record this. And a problem is this mic doesn't even have a bottom. I'm doing a little bit of
You're
a
giving away
budget cut
secrets
thing.
now.
Yeah. So this today should be a pretty fun episode, and we're going to talk about quite a bit. Coaster related, not coaster related. Get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so first thing I want to get off my chest is Zach is not a thuzy. So whatever takes you hear that you don't like that he has about whatever coaster it may be, he's not a thuzy. In fact, he doesn't really even enjoy coasters as much as he thought. And there were some times in the trip where he was even like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this." And it's like, why did I decide to do this?
I can't believe you got me to come out here and do these 2 parts.
Dude, I'm happy.
Mommy,
I like these.
Is this Slow Flash?
It wasn't hard for you to convince me. I think I was excited to do it. It's just me and roller coasters. And,
How you doing?
oh, I'm doing fine.
Okay, good.
We planned this trip all the way back in May, and then it took place in August. And it's crazy to think about how fast time flies. Like, this happened when it was like 90 degrees out. Then one of the days it was like 96 degrees and like
Yeah, it was
80%
a hot-
humidity.
hot
And now
day.
it's below freezing out.
Yep. We got
And-
28 today.
Yeah, I think it was 27, 28 when I came over here.
Yikes.
So obviously, like you heard me say, we went to Virginia. We went to the 2 most popular parks in Virginia. We spent one day at King's Dominion, and then we spent a day and a half, what should have been 2 days, at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So, I think we did this on like, I think it was like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing, get back Thursday, or was it
Yeah,
a
we
Tuesday,
left.
Wednesday, Thursday thing?
I think we left on did we leave Sunday night?
Oh, we left on a Sunday night. We did a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if we needed to. Like
Yeah.
emergency, we would get home Thursday if that was like a
Right.
thing we needed to do. But no, the drive down was fun. It was good. Having a blast. What's that highway? Like 96, right? Through Virginia?
No, 95.
95. That is probably
Hate that highway. It's
probably the worst highway outside of Pennsylvania. I don't know. I think I
Yeah.
like 81, dislike 81 a
Down the
little
East
bit.
Coast, 95 is definitely the worst.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
we ran into one accident that like the entire way down, which was honestly pretty surprising, and it probably took us what, like 4.5 hours?
Yeah, I think the accident, though, was only like 45 minutes away from our destination.
Yeah,
so
we
it really
hung out at a
wasn't
rest
that
stop
bad.
for a little bit
Yeah,
too.
yeah, we just hung out. Not bad.
No, we were enjoying it. So we show up to our first hotel, which was provided to us by my mother and all of our Expedia reward or her Expedia rewards member points from all of the trips we take. Shout out my mother, but this place was fun. this place was cool. This place was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
We get there. It's nice. She thought it wouldn't work out. The guy, he didn't give us too many problems when you checked in or anything.
No,
But
the check-in was easy.
we got our rooms, and so we wake up the next day to go to King's Dominion, and I go to the bathroom, and I've done this before. I did it in the Carowinds vlog. I gave like a bathroom review, but that hotel like just opened like 6 months before we stayed there, and you had a full range, a dishwasher, and a full bathroom, and it was like you had a his and a hers like side of your bathroom, which is wild in a hotel, and it sucked we only had to spend like 8 hours there, but that probably is the best hotel bathroom I've ever been in. This bathroom was interesting to say the least.
Not quite the best.
First off, I forget what my main thing was. The toilet did something. The toilet, like,
Oh, it
shook.
shook. Yeah.
But the way it was, like, half of your body was in the way of the the countertop, and you had to reach like underneath for the toilet paper.
Oh,
I
yeah, the
remember
toilet paper
that.
was underneath. Yeah. Just weird layout.
The shower head faced the wall of the shower. Like, it sprayed, I think 75% of that shower head sprayed the wall of the shower.
And it was just hard. Like, it was just, like, straight across.
You had to, like, reach your arm into the jet stream of the water. And this was my favorite. The mirror in the bathroom wasn't even, like, it. So if your sink's over here, if the entire countertop takes up the entire length of the bathroom, your sink's over here, but your mirror is all the way over here. The mirror just, like, had nothing to do with the sink. It made me angry.
Strange place. Just
Very
a strange
fun.
place.
We go to check it out, and we got our free breakfast, which I think is all that matters in a hotel. I think it doesn't really matter how bad it is as long as you get something to eat before you leave. You know,
That's
you're
the
fine.
place with the pool inside, right?
Yeah.
That was okay, and it was just like kind of an odd.
It was just,
like,
it looked like
just a rundown pool.
yeah, like the pool needed help, but
Dude, we tried to sit on that electric chair that like swung us out, though, didn't we? It didn't even work.
we tested it. It just like dropped into the water, and then it just didn't move. But the water looked carbonated. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh yeah, it was like spritzing.
Yeah, and it wasn't like jet streams within the pool or anything. Like, the water was just oddly enough doing that. And we had our breakfast in like the hotel lobby because there were like maybe four chairs, four tables with
Yeah.
one seat at each for people to eat breakfast at. The breakfast
It was
wasn't bad.
It was
the potatoes
packed
were good.
though. Like there was a decent space to eat. It was just packed.
It was-
like
it
there were
was
so many
really
people
full.
there.
Because King's Dominion is immediately off the highway, so you know, there's King's Dominion parking lot. Across the road, there's a gas station, and then 3 hotels, and the other 2 hotels happen to be under renovation. So we had that one hotel, and you know, it was fine. It was good. So we didn't end up paying for parking. We walked across the road. We walked through the parking lot, and we finally got into King's Dominion. And
For free.
for free, baby. Yeah. So what did you think of King's Dominion?
It's tough when you have Hershey Park right down the road, because like it does definitely take away the like awesomeness of a park. The first ride we rode was the
think
one
it
that
was
like goes around and it's-
Jumbili.
yeah. And you know, that was a cool introduction. Getting into the park was really easy. Like I feel
Mhm.
like we were there pretty early. Not too many people there. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the first like 2 or 3 rides that we got on
I
with
think we
no
did
lines.
Jumbili. There were no lines like the entire day. I
Yeah.
think the longest we waited. may
Well,
have
at
been,
the
like,
end we waited because
I think Dominator was probably the longest line we waited, and that was probably what, like 12 minutes. I think I timed it
well, no, because Intimidator at the end
because it kept breaking
because
down.
it broke down
Mhm.
a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was definitely no lines at the beginning prior to your buddy showing up, and yeah, like park's clean, like really
Very
well
clean.
taken care of. It's
Very
a good
spread
theme
out.
park for sure, or a good amusement park. My bad. Yeah, my bad. Like the roller coasters are a lot of
Weird.
fun. Intimidator's not really my thing, but but I can see why people like it. Like it makes a lot of sense. It's pretty extreme. So
We also did like you were like this is just weird. It's kind of like flying turns at Knoebels, but it was just
yeah.
you had to like you were almost forced to sit in somebody's lap, and then it was just like the way the restraint was. It was just kind of like, all right, this is odd. This is very interesting. But we did Jumbili, we did Reptilian, then it was I think we did Flight of Fear before we did I-305.
We did because it was like just
so hot.
drizzling or something, or
It was just hot.
something was going on.
And I was like, I think this is air conditioned. And
yeah,
then, 'cause
that's
we bought
right.
that-
We
yeah.
were looking for air conditioning. We
so
found
funny.
it. It was fun.
Throughout the entire day, no line at all for Flight of Fear. So we ended up riding that. 8 times.
Oh yeah, easily.
Only for the air conditioning. And
Oh no, that's a great ride though. That's
it
an
is such a
all
good
around
ride.
solid ride.
I think that's top 3 in the, probably is number 3 in the park. I think I'd take that over
Oh, yeah.
Dominator.
Yeah.
But so we did I-305. I recorded our first reactions to it. And then we did it again in the back row. And then Zach wanted to move on, so of course I'll obey that. I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but 305 feet, what is it, like 92 miles an hour? It's the most intense roller coaster in the world.
6 Gs.
Yeah, down there in the bottom of that turn.
It's craziness. But then what we did Twisted Timbers, which is I think number 2 probably.
So you like I-305 better than Twisted Timbers?
Ooh. No, I like Twisted Timbers
you like
better
Twisted
than
Timbers better?
I-305.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were at Intimidator 305, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, people like, I was talking to you, but I was just like, this coaster's cool, it's like intense, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever, and then it's like, no, people like black out on it, you're like, what? And it was just insane. He's like asking to ride up there, he's like, hey, do people die on this coaster?
Like, not a
people,
fan. I don't want to black out. That's not
this-
I'm not that much of an enthusiast. Like,
No.
I'm just trying to like
Then
black
the ride-offs
out.
like start. They were making fun of us, but they were like, they were joking around with us. The one girl in the booth is talking to us like over the mic. She's like, you're like, do people actually black out? And the other girls, the supervisor's like, oh God, you'll be fine. And I'm just over here laughing. We're having a blast. It was fun. It was a good
It
time.
was a great time.
But so we do Twisted Timbers, and I like Twisted Timbers. So you haven't been on Wildcat yet, but Wildcat is just kind of like
Not Wildcat's Revenge.
no Wildcat's Revenge. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I've been on Wildcat.
And that
was
one's
a good
not very
one.
good.
But I'm a fan. Like, I think when I think of roller coasters, like Knoebels and like Phoenix and what's the other one's name?
Twister?
Twister. Yeah, like where you're like not strapped in, but like you go over some really good bumps and
Okay.
stuff, which is like reminds me of Twisted Timbers, where it's like you're not really strapped in.
So
like,
you actually made
you're-
that comparison as we were going up the lift. You were like, Twisted Timbers, like this is a lot like Phoenix. And at first when I was editing that video, I'm like, oh God, people are going to eat you alive for that. But then the more and more I thought about it, I was like, actually, that's not a terrible comparison. Like Phoenix is like one of the most ejector-heavy wooden coasters, maybe. The solid ejector on Phoenix, I would say maybe El Toro is more like Twisted Timbers, but just like spurts of ejector like that.
Yeah.
And the
Where you're out of your
off-axis
seat.
hills
Yeah.
on Twisted Timbers can kind of be compared to all that crazy ejector on Phoenix. So, I mean, that's not a bad comparison. But of course, you had no idea what you're like. You
No,
have no idea
it's
what that
just
means.
I think honestly when I think about roller coasters, that's what I'm looking for. So like I'm not fully like
In your seat
strapped
the entire
in
time.
because like
Oh, so you
that's
like that.
part of it's part of the experience.
Okay,
You're
so
like
you're up there with like Sky Rush's restraints. You like, you know what I mean? It's
Kind
just like
of, yeah.
like a cutting board over your lap. type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So Phoenix actually has what's called buzz bar restraints, and there's only 2 positions that it's allowed to be in. It can be in the up position, or it can be in the lower position, and that is like the lowest that restraint can go. If you like those 2 coasters, you'll love one. It's called Phantom's Revenge. It's in Pittsburgh, and very,
Heard of
very,
it.
very. It's like a pool noodle over your lap. That's all you get. I am not. You think I'm joking? Like that might be even like generous. It's
Jeez.
very minimalist, and you would definitely enjoy that one. But Twisted Timbers is such a good ride, and I wrote that in the opening year. I actually did a comparison image from like 2023 to 2018 when I wrote it, and that was fun. And so we knocked out pretty much everything except for Dominator. I think in the first like 2 hours of the park being open, probably there was, I don't know, one of the ops was joking with us. He's like, I don't even know if there's 500 people in the park today. And I was just like, I mean, it doesn't seem like it. I'll
Well,
tell you what.
at that time, I don't think there was.
No.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, closer to when the rain came, there probably was.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Ooh, a coaster I want to talk about, and we'll get into this a little bit. Comparing Anaconda to Loch Ness Monster, because I remember we were riding Loch Ness Monster, and I go,
wait, Loch Ness is at
Loch Ness is at Busch Gardens,
Busch
Williamsburg.
Gardens,
Yeah,
right.
So Loch Ness Monster is the 45-year-old yellow one, and I'm like, this is like Anaconda, but it's much
Yeah.
better than Anaconda. And
It is.
what do you think about Anaconda?
Okay, so Anaconda.
You know which one that is, right?
Right. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with
Okay,
you.
over the water, yeah.
It's been a while, but I'm with you.
It's a piece of garbage.
It is. It's rough. I think though that Loch Ness is very rough.
You think it's
But
rough?
it was. Oh yeah.
You said
like-
it's smooth.
No.
In the
no.
POV, you said Loch Ness Monster is smooth.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I remember my neck getting jarred like
Maybe a
hell
little bit.
of
There's
bad.
some weird transitions, but it's definitely not as bad as
It's not as
Anaconda.
rocky
Mhm.
like as. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
constantly shakes you around on Anaconda, whereas on Loch Ness it doesn't really. But I think it's the like hard jarring
Mhm.
every now and then that you're like, whoa, okay, that was a little rough, you know. But I would say Loch Ness was definitely better than Anaconda.
Oh, for sure. Actually, it's turning 45 in 2024. So what they're doing
Anaconda is?
is no, Loch Ness Monster. I
Oh.
think they're doing. I think it's like 300, 600, 900 feet, one of those numbers, and they're taking it out and then retracking the entire thing to do what you're saying, make it smoother. But computers back then, they actually had to build steel coasters like they build wooden coasters. So instead of like carpenters being out on the job site, it was welders. And what they would do, they'd heat up the rails and then bend it over plywood into the shape of the track and then weld that onto the center spine. So that's how these types of coasters are.
Jarring
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, and it was
Gotcha.
made without the aid of a computer.
Sounds real rough.
Yeah.
I don't envy that job at all.
So this is funny. This is probably one of my favorite memories because we decided, after Twisted Timbers, a little hungry, let's get something to eat. So we go to the burger place, and this might be like top 5 best food I've ever gotten at a park. And Zach goes, I don't know if I want all of this, and he's like, I'm looking at the menu and whatnot, and he goes, what's good here? She goes, with the straightest face ever, the chicken steak.
Chicken steak.
And I'm like, I look at Zach, I'm like, I point to it, I'm like, don't do it, please don't
please
do
don't.
it. And he goes, yeah, I'll do the chicken steak. And I'm like, oh dear Lord. And I get the fattest double patty burger like you could ever find. And it's so filling, and I think I got onion rings and you got fries, so we split the sides, but I was just like, I was loading up on the platter, the buffet of toppings they
Dude.
had.
Pickles.
Oh my God, all the pickles. They wouldn't let me take them on the Ferris wheel. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, you can't have those on the Ferris wheel.
You
I
try
go,
to
"My
take
pickles?"
them on a ride.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was the
gosh.
Ferris wheel. She goes, no. I go, it just,
Took a shot of pickles.
Oh my God, I stacked that thing full of pickles too. It was crazy. But that was, I was very upset about that. But
Chicken
just
steak
the
was not
saddest
it.
little 2 millimeter thick
Not it.
slab of, I don't even want to call this meat. I don't.
What was that restaurant? It was like some sort of
Johnny,
like.
I don't want to say Johnny Rockets. It might have been Johnny Rockets.
No, it
but
was
a diner.
Yeah, but it was like one of those like music diners.
Mhm.
It's like
Jukebox diner maybe that was called.
jukebox. That could be it. Yeah, and
It's
chicken
cool
steak was
inside,
not it.
And my burger was fantastic. I think it made you a little jealous.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, I ate the chicken steak. I made that choice.
Mm-hmm.
I died on that hill.
With the straightest face ever, she goes, chicken steak.
She just wanted to get rid of it.
I-
You know, she just wanted to be like.
I mean, you had like
there's the most of these.
the
Take
fattest
one.
chicken breast ever as like inside a chicken sandwich, and you had a double patty burger, simple as that. And she goes, the chicken steak. So we did the eating, and then we were going back over to because it's hot, we had to eat outside because there's no indoor seating there. We're just like, okay, let's not throw up, but let's go take a break at Flight of Fear or something. And on our walk over there, which honestly isn't that long, it's a nice sized park where it is bigger than Hershey Park acreage, but the walk isn't bad. Just the layout of the park is super nice. We get back over to Flight of Fear, and it starts raining, and it picks up, and so I guess in Virginia, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and King's Dominion, 2 completely different stories. Every ride shuts down no matter what, if it's indoor or anything.
Just at a drizzle, even.
Yeah, even for a drizzle, everything there, if it starts raining, you're done for. And so we're like, what do we do? And I have a buddy coming, Nick. We do a podcast with him. He's the one in the Five Toed Thuzies podcast. But
Little
Nick's
Thuzy
coming.
Vert.
Yeah, little Thuzy Vert. That made you laugh so hard.
It was good. It was good.
Dude, oh my goodness. So he's coming, and I call him, and I'm like, Nick, it's raining here, and everything's shut down. And you were like, want to go bowling? I was like, dude, honestly, I could go bowling. Like, we were trying to find something to do because the entire park got shut down. I can get in for free. I get him in for free. Nick has a pass because he's a Virginia native. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do some bowling. I'm like, Nick, you want to go bowling? He goes, why the hell would we go bowling? And I'm like, dude, I don't think it's going to clear up here anytime soon. And so we're sitting there, we're waiting for him. And, you know, I think he gets there like 20, maybe 30 minutes later, and it actually did start to slow down. So we're walking back to find him.
Yeah, we're walking, but like, what was it? We went over at least like 4 things to do. We were like, let's go get food. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking at restaurants, and then we were like, let's go bowling, and then you know, we were going over like
we
3 or
went
4
back,
different
like,
things, and then all of a
laser
sudden we were
tag,
like,
too.
oh, it's sunny.
Yeah,
Let's
like,
go back to the
somehow in,
park.
like, a matter of like 3 minutes, it stopped raining. Everything was almost dried up already, and
Yeah,
the sun's
we
out.
just dropped all of our
faces are in
ideas.
phones, because like the exit that King's Dominion is on, it's a ghost town. Other than those like 3 attractions, nothing's there. We're like looking at it. The first thing that comes up that we might somewhat be entertained in doing is like 20 minutes away, and then all of a sudden, you know, we get our heads out of our phones and we're good. There's no rain. It's already drying up everything, so we go back into the park.
We just drop all of our previous ideas.
Yep,
And just be
we
like,
go back into
all
the
right, let's
park."
do this.
So with Nick, we did. I think we did Dominator first because that was one you were missing, and then for whatever reason, the sky started to get dark again. So we did Boo Blasters.
Yeah,
butts.
boom! I did kick your butts.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, because Nick's gun didn't work, so he just gave up halfway through the ride. We did I-305 first, and then we went back to Tumbili. But we did I-305 first, and it started breaking down left and right. They couldn't get like 3 public trains out without this thing like absolutely crapping the bucket. At this point, you were like, I'm going to find something better to eat. I'll let you tell that story.
Yeah, I just
in a
wanted to
hot
find
minute.
food.
But Nick and I we ride Reptilian, we ride Tumbili like 3 times, and we're just like bored out of our minds waiting for Intimidator 305 to open back up. So we decide to wait in the station, and I think we end up getting like 2 rides on it, and then we find you again. So what were you doing during all that time?
I found some brisket.
Let's hear about
Some
it.
good brisket. There's like this firehouse company, but I was walking my way back like into the park from I-305, and I was just like, I have no idea where to go. So I stopped this like, he was a pretty like healthy looking security guard. Like you could tell if he knew where to eat. He knew where to find good food. And I was like, that guy knows. So I walked up to him and I was like, dude, you got to help me out. I'm looking for some really good food. He goes, all right, you got to go find this firehouse brisket. I was like, okay. They had everything there though. It was
They
like,
looked good,
it was
too.
really good. There's like all kinds of like the backyard barbecue American style stuff. Like, you know, your macaroni salad and your coleslaw and everything. Dude, I housed it though. It was so good.
I could go for some of that. And I was like, well, obviously Zach's out, you know, of the picture. You don't want to ride anything. You have probably like a good 1.5 pounds of just the
I think I had a beer with it too, actually.
Dude, he
It's
comes
like,
back.
no way.
Nick goes, who is this guy? And I go, oh, he's my cousin. He's not a Thuzy. And he goes, yeah, he spent like $40 on theme park food.
Oh, yeah.
And Zach comes back. He's like, hey, guys. And I was like,
Sipping my
"What's-"
Dr. Pepper.
I go, he goes, so what have you guys done? I was like, we didn't get on I-305 at that point. We're like,
No,
waiting
yeah.
in line. And you're just
No,
like,
you did then. You had the last ride of
we
the
got
night.
the last ride of the day. We did, but you were sitting on the bench still.
Yeah,
like, there's
no,
like,
I totally didn't go.
Yeah,
I was
watching us do this.
I was nursing my food, baby.
Oh my gosh! And That's just like the funniest thing ever. Like Nick's react, because we do like Die Hard Doozy things. Oh my goodness. So King's Dominion ended up being really. Oh, we didn't talk about Grizzly. So they retracked Grizzly from the. I went in 2018, and then I went again in 2023. Grizzly was awful. Grizzly was so bad.
I don't think I remember Grizzly. Where is
Grizzly
that?
was the one you have to walk to the gift shop to get in the entrance. They retract like half of it.
Oh, it's back
coaster
in the
is good.
corner.
Yeah, the first half of the coaster is
Oh.
good, and the other half is absolute dog water.
And then what's
Crazy.
the one? Apples to
Apples Apple?
Apples Sap. Apples Apple.
Yeah, Apples Apple. Yeah.
Apples Apple. That was a decent ride. It
Oh
was
my
like
gosh,
it was
but
just a little like
no,
fun
that was the
little thing.
longest line of the day. We waited in that for the longest.
Did
Because
we?
They were only sending 2 trains at a time, and there were me as
I didn't
as
mind
an
it though. It wasn't. It was a good little like in between ride.
I was freaking out because we have minimum amount of people that are legally allowed to operate a coaster at Hershey Park, right? There is 2 people on this ride platform operating the coaster. There's one at unload and there's one at load, and she's doing everything, which I mean, I guess is fine, but it's just like
Right.
they're getting 2 trains out at a time.
And the one in the back was just like not doing
She wasn't
anything.
doing
She's like on her
anything,
first
no.
day on the job or something.
It was bad. So
Yeah.
technically, take her out of the equation because she was standing behind the exit, the ride platform gate, like half the time. There was one op up there doing everything, and it stressed me out a little bit. So it's by this time it's a little past sundown. We got to go to Williamsburg to our next hotel because we are going to go to Busch Gardens Williamsburg the next day, and so we get in the car, we drive to the gas station,
Which
to-
is like not even a quarter
I think-
mile up the road.
I would it's maybe 50 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah, pull it up on Google Maps,
yeah,
Michael, and
something.
post. It's walkable. It's like not even maybe a minute and a half walk.
Yeah.
From the lobby of the hotel to the cashier in the there because
The gas station. Yeah.
no. So we go over to this gas station, right, in the Jeep, and I was like, ooh, they have gas station egg rolls. Like, I want to try these, And you're like, why do you want to do that? I was like, I don't know, because I've never tried gas station egg rolls. And they were like,
They're $1 a piece.
yeah, no, they weren't even that. I think it was like I got 3 of them for like $1,
Oh,
dollar and a
my.
quarter maybe.
Oh,
I didn't go for anything like not American. And I don't want that to sound bad or anything, but come on, these are gas station egg rolls here. So I go for like a pepperoni and cheese. I go for a buffalo chicken, and I think I go like I forget which one I went for, but
that doesn't even constitute an egg roll. First of all, none of that stuff.
These
Just
are like
just putting this out there.
churro
for-
sized like too. They were
You
long
can't
and they
call
were
something
fat.
an egg roll and then put pepperoni and cheese in it.
So I go and I get these, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't eat. He had brisket. He's not hungry. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna. There's a Burger King, I think, too. I was like, I'm gonna go get some food at. Oh no, I think it was a
You
Wendy's.
needed to use the bathroom.
Yeah, and the gas station didn't have a bathroom either. So I was like, I'll go over to Wendy's. I think it was Wendy's or Burger King. I'll get some food. I'll do this and yada yada yada.
But I turned my car off.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I turned my
Mhm.
car off, and then when I went to turn it back on, it was like, dink.
Just
I was like,
did
"Ah,
not start.
That doesn't sound good. Luckily, there was a work van beside us. So while Michael was trying to figure out all he was doing,
Mhm.
I was like, well, maybe I can get these guys to give me a jump or something, because I'm not sure what's going on. And they gave me a jump, and Mike was already over at the Burger King across the road at this point, so like, I let it charge for a little bit, and I started driving around, and my lights started flickering again. So I drove back into the hotel parking lot that we were in, and all of a sudden it just died and came to a stop. And I was like, this is not good. They jumped us again.
Mhm.
They let it charge for a little longer that time, and
Mm-hmm.
we got on the road. We got some gas, and like it seemed to be good.
There's nothing around King's Dominion. I think we started driving around and you went on that road. It said no outlet. We're like, oh, okay, we'll just turn around. But wasn't there something like really sketchy? Like it was like a container ship, like little area or something. Or we
I
turned
don't
around
remember.
somewhere, but I was like, this place is like.
It's a very interesting. Like it was dark too, so
Mhm.
like we had
Yeah.
no idea what was around. But yeah, it
Interesting
looked like
location.
just you were driving into an open space of forever.
Yeah.
Like it didn't look real.
No. So then we go to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and we stop at that hotel, and we were talking to the people, the hostess at the front desk. We were telling them all of our stories, all of our troubles of the night, and they were loving it. And like we had like I would say like a good
I was
like,
flirting a little bit. I had to
really?
admit, a little bit. You
like
know.
a 10-minute conversation with them, and it was just the funnest thing ever. They're like, I have all my duffel bags, and like I'm not angry, but I'm just like, oh, and I throw mine down, and like just at the desk, and Zach's like, yeah, we're having quite the night.
And I ordered some alcohol. I mean, that's all you need to say.
There you
Like
go.
I got some alcohol at the front desk of a hotel
There you
bar.
go. Yeah. No, it wasn't even a bar. It was a mini fridge. They
Yeah, it was
had.
just a mini fridge.
Yeah, like one of those like Coke fridge converts into.
What we get? Sex on the Beach and Long Island.
I don't
That's
know.
what we got.
I don't know. But
That's what I got.
yeah. These girls, we were talking to them. We were talking about roller coasters and stuff, and like, yeah, they're like, why are you, what are you doing? And I forget what they said, but it was weird because it was like, of course we're in Williamsburg, which is like super historic. They didn't phrase the question that way. They're like, why are you here, type of thing. Like, what's in Virginia that you want to go to? I'm like, first off, there's Williamsburg, but nah, we're here to ride roller coasters.
Heck
So we
yeah.
start this conversation about like BGW and stuff, and we're just talking about coasters and whatnot. I've been there, he hasn't yet, and so like he's not included in the conversation. He's just kind of like there. I was like, yeah, you'll see all this tomorrow. But it's a really really cool place. So talking about like BGW and stuff, this is definitely a theme park. This is 100% a theme park.
Yes, this is the theme park.
We get there. We're having we drive the first day. And since I'm getting in for free, we decide, let's get some preferred parking. $40 later, 40 whole smackaroons. I think the first day you even couldn't get your Uber to work because Uber was acting up. The entire
Yeah, I
time
didn't have
of
my account
breakfast.
set up. That's
Yeah,
what
the
it
entire
was.
amount of breakfast you were trying to figure it out. It wasn't working. We were like, okay, we'll drive. Of course, because I'm getting in for free and whatnot. We were like, yep, we'll pay for preferred parking.
Whatever.
And we do. But we were on Apollo, and this is a really good flashback. So this is what the park looked like when I was there in 2022. Not a single empty spot. When Zach and I are there, one car
It was one single car
in like
the whole
the
parking
span of
lot.
3 parking lots.
They were tailgating too. They were having a
Yeah,
party.
there was like 6 people, 6, 7 people around that car. No, like nobody's in this park. Nobody was in either of the parks, either of the days. So we're having a blast, and there's no lines. We ride everything we want to. So let's talk about some of the coasters here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I think we started with Pantheon.
Yeah, we did.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did. Yep, we started with Pantheon, and then we went to Apollo.
And Tempesto was closed the first day.
We rode on the
And we went on the train.
train.
Yeah, and we went back to, we went to Invader, but we never actually rode Invader because the line was like full of children for whatever reason. Like everybody
Yeah.
thought it was a
And
kiddie ride.
Hot.
It was hot. That queue line
We were
sucks
sitting
for heat.
Straight in the sun.
And we decided not to ride it because like it just would have been time wasted. So I've never been on their log flume. I would say it's probably for me maybe top 5 log flumes I've been on. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I'd say
log
the one at
flumes are
Islands-
log flumes. I
Islands
don't
is
know.
pretty good. Islands is probably my number 1. I think my number 2 log flume is probably going to be Dollywood's. Number 3 I'd probably say is Knoebels, and then I'd say number 4 maybe is a good spot for Les Chutes.
That's fair. That's fair.
There we go. So we ride that. Didn't do anything for us.
What is that place called? What is that area of the park called? It's called not Greenwich.
I'm not sure actually,
It's like
but it's very much like old woodwork, like.
Norwegian almost. I feel
Yeah,
like.
but
Yeah.
there's a lot of woodwork. There's a lot of cool gift shops. What were we? We were trying to find something. Oh, I think you wanted another energy drink, and it was just
Monster.
We could
Well,
not find it.
Okay, that's like forever away though. Like, cause we went from then
That just
taking the
popped up on my memory.
train, yeah,
And
and then we walked all the way back around to basically where Dark Coaster was.
Yeah, we
and
got on Dark Coaster. Well, that was.
But we went for
that was an
food
opening.
first, right?
We
We went to that like beer garden, like inside.
Oh, that didn't happen till Yeah. We did do that, but we didn't actually. I don't think we got
We
food
didn't
there.
get food.
No,
for
we
a
just
while.
sat
We
there
sat.
because one, it was hot out. It was like 96 this day, I think,
We were just cooling off.
and we needed a break. You wanted to get food there. I advised against it because my dad ate there and it was bad. And I was like, we could do a snack because the weather starts to look like it's getting a little bad, and it did rain a little bit, but we dodged it, so we stayed back inside. We got the pretzels.
That's what we
Yeah,
got.
they're German
good
pretzels. Fantastic pretzels.
Really good pretzels.
Best pretzels you ever tasted. We got cinnamon and, well, we pigged out too. I think we got one original. We got one cinnamon sugar bite. We got another original bites, and then we got two pretzel pizza logs.
Pretzel pizza logs.
Yeah.
Those things were boss.
Dude, those
They're
things were
so
great.
good.
And you didn't get the beer there. You got it at a gift shop. And so then we were like,
No, it was like a beer. It was like
Yeah, it was like a beer
store.
stand.
Yeah.
so we did that.
Beer at a gift shop.
Beer gift shop. There you go. So we did that, and we're hanging out, and we were waiting for Verbolten to open. I remember this because I
yeah.
wanted Verbolten to open so bad. Verbolten is like probably number 2 or 3 in that park for me. Verbolten is like the biggest guilty pleasure coaster I have. And
Rip.
Zach has never been on it, and that's really depressing. Like, it's such a good coaster.
Stupid Halloween.
Yeah, I forget what they were doing to it.
They're doing something for Halloween.
I think you're right.
For like Halloween in the park.
And so that was closed, and then we go back. I think we do Griffin and Alpengeist quite a few times, and oh my goodness.
Alpengeist.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Alpengeist?
It shook me up a bit. That's for sure. I remember getting a little bit lightheaded a couple times.
Yeah, in the station, I was like, Zach, if I yell brace yourself, just launch your head and your shoulders as far forward as you can, and just be as tense as possible. When I yell brace yourself, we go through the
It was a
Cobra
fun
Roll.
ride though. I definitely I'm not one to ride roller coasters multiple times, but like we did that one a couple times. It definitely took the wind out of me a couple times, but
Dude, it's such a good
it's
ride, too.
it's all good.
It's
yeah,
so
like,
big.
It's part of the fun.
It's so big too. It's like 3 feet from being 200 feet tall. Like it's huge. And then we go. We did Loch Ness Monster. We did do Loch Ness Monster somewhere in
that
between
was
there.
Before, yeah.
This is the funniest thing about Loch Ness Monster, and the reason why I'm bringing it up. We're coming back into the station, right? And you might not remember this, but our restraints unlocked before we were even like parked in the station. Like the train is very much still moving, and the restraints they just fly up. And I'm laughing. You're like, what in the world? I was like, dude, I've never seen this happen before. It was like very funny, but also very much like manual release. Like I wonder what the ride offs were doing, because that was wild in my opinion. But Griffin, I feel like you like
was
Griffin.
fun. Griffin was fun. I'm trying to think what.
Which one it is?
Yeah, that's the one that drops.
That
right?
yeah, the blue one. That's the one we
Okay.
took videos of because the splash zone.
Right.
National Roller Coaster
right.
Day.
Okay. So yeah, the Griffin was fun. Griffin was definitely a different coaster because it's the drop. It's a dropper.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, there's nothing around here that's like that. Dorney Park's getting one next year, but there's nothing around here that's, I mean, maybe Fahrenheit a little bit, Impulse a little bit, but there's nothing that actually holds you over the edge like that for 3 to 5 seconds, and you're 205 feet in the air.
You know, when I think though about that roller coaster, that is literally the only thing that's memorable about it. Like that and the water at the end. But
Okay.
you don't really notice the
Actually,
water when you're on the ride.
You just had one of the most popular takes in the community, like
Yeah.
right there. Like there are coasters that at multiple parks that are just like that, and they are called GP pleasers, general public pleasers, because they're a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Yep, you got that. You nailed that
Yeah.
one. But so I think after that, at some point, we get rained out entirely, and you know, it's time to leave, and we go back to the hotel.
No, first we go to AutoZone.
Oh yeah, because
Got
you
a
want to get
battery
stuff
pack.
checked out
Yeah.
on your car, and they do that for free and whatnot.
Yeah, do you know did I ever tell you what happened?
But what did happen to your car?
So the negative terminal of the battery was like slightly unscrewed, just enough so that the power wasn't like when it would sit like off, the power wasn't actually like consistently there. So when I would go to press the button to the engine turn over, it just didn't have enough power to start. That was literally all it was. Just one bolt that needed to be screwed in on the engine.
Wow,
Craziness.
that's crazy.
But anyways,
We go to AutoZone, we get that taken care of and whatnot. And then we go back to the hotel, and for whatever reason, we fall asleep for, I think it was like an hour and a half or whatever, and we wake up. It was weird, because it was like a nap, but it also like wasn't a nap at the same time. And we wake up,
you're just
and I'm just like,
exhausted.
oh my God, it's 4:30. Like, what are we doing right now? And you're like, you want to go somewhere to eat? And I was like,
Get some
yeah.
food.
So we go to this like sports bar, like very
What is
much,
it called?
I forget what it was called,
Yeah, I
but
don't think it's called.
dude, I couldn't, their menu was so like stupidly diverse for what a
Yeah,
sports
it's
bar should be.
intricate.
And I couldn't figure out what to eat. There was like nothing on the menu that I would think would be at a sports bar. I forget what you got, but like we got an appetizer. I think we got like what was it, like fried octopus, fried rice, or something like that.
Was it?
I don't know. It was so weird.
I thought it was shrimp.
maybe
Wasn't it just fried shrimp?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was something else in it too. It was shrimp.
Calamari.
It was shrimp. It was
Maybe
like
it was fried
rice,
calamari.
But it was like I think it was like seafood stir fried rice or something like that. I don't know. It was odd.
Interesting.
Point of the story was it was very weird. Like, and then their menu, I forget what I got.
Hey, I would have taken the server home with me though.
There you go. Yeah, she was.
She was a cutie.
Yeah, very talkative. We were having fun. We were making bets with each other, like in the park and whatnot. We were like, "Hey, who can get the most numbers and whatnot?" And I go, "This is funny to me because I'm like, Zach, I am wearing a T-shirt that has a roller coaster on it,
Yeah.
and I go." That is wildly unfair. And I was like, we're not doing that. And he's, okay, whatever. I ruined your fun there. But so the second day we were going to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, we also, moral of the story was we ended up getting rained out, long story short. Every single time I've ever been into Virginia, in the past, I think 3 years, we got rained out horrendously. We got rained out at King's Dominion for a good portion of the time. We got rained out the second day at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. We got a little bit of rain the first day. My trip back in 2022 was terrible with rain. Dude, so we want to get this Uber. Zach finally figures it out, breakfast for the second day, right? So we do this Uber, right? And it's this old guy, and he's the nicest, like, he's super nice, super genuine. We're having great conversations. For
Obviously a
whatever
local,
reason.
like knows his way around. He's been doing a lot of stuff
Very,
around
very
the area.
easily, too.
Oh yeah.
It takes forever to get into the park. I think we waited for 35 to 37 minutes,
Oh
I want
yeah,
to say.
just in the main entrance too.
Just
Like
to
we
get
were less than a
parking.
fourth of a mile away from the entrance.
We
just
could
sitting
see
there.
Apollo, like, the entire time. It was dreadful. It was horrible. Like, I don't know why we were doing that, what it was all about. But so we get this Uber, right? And you know, because we Ubered there, we have to Uber back. This guy, I remember we were talking about it. He's like, "Oh, what do you guys do? Why are you around here? You know, you enjoying the place? Like, shouldn't?" He's like, "This is the most crowded I've seen this park like all year. You guys are here on this day. That sucks." We were like, "Nah, we're good. We were here yesterday. It was lovely. You know, no lines at all. Perfect day for going to a park." But we were like, "So you got any family, or like, why do you do this?" And he's like, "Well, this is my wife's car. She hated it, so I took it. I got to pay it off somehow. I retired, and now I'm driving around doing Uber." And we're like, "That's a solid story. That's cool. That's good."
Yeah.
And he's like, "You got any because it was a bit earlier." He's like, "Well, you know, I drove somebody to the airport. I went back home, went back to bed for a little
Yeah,
bit."
like-
And then, you know, he's like, "You guys, I think we were like his first ride from like coming back from
After that.
being home or whatnot."
Right.
But we were like, "Oh, so you don't like have anybody you know or anything, or you don't like make friends doing Uber?" And he goes, "No, I don't know anybody else."
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we come back, right? We get this girl, and
At the end of our day, we
at the end
were
of
at
our
the
day.
we were at the park. We did all our stuff.
We
At
did
the end
all
of
our
our day,
stuff.
we go to get another Uber again.
And it's this girl, and she's nice, whatever. She drives a Jeep, so you guys were like talking about that. Great conversation starter. We were talking to her on the ride back from the hotel room to the hotel room and whatnot. And we brought up like, oh, why do you do this? Like, what's all Uber all about? Like, is this a good spot for her and whatnot? And she's like, I hate a day job, couldn't do an office thing, and now I just grind doing Uber and whatnot. And, like, she's seeing pretty decent turnout apparently, she says, and she's like, actually, my dad does Uber, too, and he's the one who convinced me to do it. And we're like, oh, that's cool. Who's your dad? And well, we didn't say that, but she put two and two together somehow. She knew before we knew.
Yeah,
It's because I worked at Hershey Park. And he told her about that. He said I had like the two nicest gentlemen or whatever on my ride this morning.
Like,
doing
you
Uber.
had my dad. He drove you this morning. I was like, what? This is like the mafia of the Uber in Virginia.
Yeah, and we were talking about that, and it's the funniest thing ever. And we get out of the car, and I go, how was that? Why did he say he doesn't know anybody who does Uber?
Yeah.
If his own daughter does Uber, why he said no, he doesn't know anybody doing Uber? It was quite funny. But no, so we did that. It was good. But going back to our day, the second day was it was very relaxed. But it was also like we didn't know what we should do because we pondered doing Busch Gardens.
We had a bunch of different things.
We pondered going back to King's Dominion, and then we even pondered going to Hershey Park because Nick was
That's
going to
true.
Hershey Park that day.
That would have been a heck of a time.
And
though.
Zach was like, I like Nick. Like, obviously, you guys hit it off pretty well. I was really happy about that because that would have been like super weird if I just invited this stranger on and you guys like hated each other.
I get
That would've
along
been
with
weird.
most people.
Yeah, and so Nick was like, I'm going to Hershey Park alone. Nobody likes going to parks alone. I mean, I've done it before, but like nobody wants to go to a park alone if you had the option for it. So we pondered even the decision of going to Hershey Park, which is, I mean, of course I work there. It's like 20 minutes away from where you live. So we would have cut the trip short one day.
Yeah, but that would have been it wouldn't have made sense. It would have been like a 6-hour drive home and then
Yeah,
another
it would've been good.
at least 4 hours in the park, like for a 10-hour day.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So we decided to do our second day at Busch Gardens, and we got on Pantheon again. Tempesto finally opened, and other than that, we ate fries. We went back over. We did Alpengeist. We were just like trying to find things to do because like once you get everything done, it's like, all right, what do I want re-rides on before we leave? Because at that point, depending how late it was, we were going to stop back at King's Dominion and like ride Twisted Timbers
Yeah.
one more time, 2 more times, ride Intimidator 305 because like just the sheer, just that coaster's name, like just what that coaster brings to the table is absolutely unreal. So we pondered doing that. We ended up staying like most of the day there, but we got French fries at the French fry place. We got pizza fries, I think it was. It was like marinara, cheese, and everything.
And
I think
barbecue or like
it was barbecue, and then we pondered getting the gravy fries, but I didn't want to do the Canadian style fries because we didn't know what the cheese curds were going to be all about. So we did pizza fries and then the barbecue fries, and these things were crazy.
They were so good.
These things were
They
amazing.
were so good. And then we do Griffin right after that though.
Yeah, we did Griffin right after that. That
What
was our
a
last out of the
bold
day.
move.
Mm-hmm.
What a bold move.
And then I found a friend who is a very regular person at Hershey Park, and I did not plan on seeing him there, and so I was talking to him, didn't know where you went. I was like, all right, well now I got to find Zach after this entire interaction. Probably was like 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't even know this place existed. I walk into the funnel cake stand, and he's over here. Yeah, I think you got like 2 funnel cakes
Dude,
or something.
I got
You got the
one
one. It was-
large like ice cream like
It was
some-
apple pie, right?
No.
Apple
it
pie
was-
funnel cake or apples? It was apple
It
something.
was cinnamon something, I feel like.
Was it?
Oh,
'Cause
it was whatever
It had
it was.
ice cream, cinnamon, apple chunks.
Did it have?
and
I
then
don't think
whipped
it
cream.
Had, it was good.
It was
Like-
fantastic.
Like to the point where I have hankerings for it. Like
Like,
today.
This thing, no doubt, could give
One
a
right
family
now.
of 4 diabetes in one sitting, too. This thing was wild. And it
Give a
was,
family of
it was
4
bad.
diabetes.
But the way we need to get out of the park, we were by Griffin because that's where this shop was, and we were like, okay, it's time to go. We're both tired. We've done this. We've outlasted our time. So it's time to go. And we get on the sky ride because I was like, yeah, this should take us to the front of the park. I'm like 95% sure, right? I'm looking up the park map on my phone and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, this is this is good. Like, we're gonna go to the front of the park, like right where that sky ride is. And so we get on the sky ride, and it takes me to a place I've never been in Busch Gardens at all. In 9 visits, 4 trips there. It's just, I've never been in this section, like part of the park. This isolated, like, I go, Zach, I'm gonna be. We get off. I'm like, oh, this isn't the entrance. I go, Zach, you said
Not
that. I go,
right.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know where we are. So we just start walking up one of the big ass hills in Busch Gardens, and we we found our way eventually. I didn't even know that Skyride station existed, and I'm not gonna lie, the Skyride stations at Busch Gardens are extremely confusing.
They are a bit confusing.
Super hard to tell where you're gonna be going and whatnot. But other than that, like, it was a very good trip. We got home, maybe, like, we had a lot of rush hour traffic. It was kind of a tedious and really, really, really bad drive home. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did not have fun on the drive home.
Yeah, it was a long drive home. We didn't get home till like almost 8 as it was.
But now I want to know, what are, like, your, so if you want to, you can look at my phone. I took I screenshotted pictures of like 6 of the best coasters.
I think I could probably do
You
it.
think you got it? You don't need to see references?
No.
Let's try and get like a top. I don't know. I don't want to push a top 10 because I don't even think they're
10
that.
is tough.
There's
10 is a
not
little
even
tough.
10 good coasters in Virginia. So if I had to guess like what your favorite coaster was, I'd probably have to go with I'd say Twisted Timbers or Pantheon. I think that's going to be your number 1. And whichever
No,
one is
I
it number
think-
1? It would be the number 2.
I think Apollo's Chariot.
Oh, you did like that one.
I
Like,
like that one.
You liked that one,
That's
like-
a solid coaster. Like,
Dude.
it's just all around, like, the smoothness, the jumps, the turns. There's a lot of good, like, little, like, oh, now we're doing this kind of thing.
yeah, Zach was hardcore glazing that
I was,
coaster.
I was-
Every chance he had, he wanted to go back to Apollo.
It was fun.
You know, that caught me off guard. Okay, so Apollo's number 1 out of the entire.
That I think that was, that's already, like,
That's very controversial.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean, you're not a doozy, so whatever list is, it's it's
I
yours.
think I like roller coasters based on their, like, consistency and, like,
Apollo's very consistent.
it is. It's a consistent,
coaster,
just
yes, very
all
consistent.
around solid job.
Number 2, I would guess Twisted Timbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 would be Pantheon, probably. Pantheon
I
or
don't know.
I-305?
I don't know, because there's Flight of Fear.
You think 3 is Flight of Fear?
For me, at least. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
For me.
Yeah. So we have Apollo's Chariot, Twisted Timbers, Flight of Fear.
Yeah.
Number
I think
4?
Pantheon would take 4.
4, 5, I-305 then?
Probably, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that sounds alright.
6, I'm gonna say Alpengeist is 6.
Ooh, actually, no. I-305 is not 6 then, because I totally forgot
I-305
about.
is 5. So you like Alpengeist better than I-305?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yes. Alpengeist.
Better than I-305.
I-305. Yep.
Okay.
And then Dark Coaster after that.
Dark Coaster, where's Griffin?
Oh shoot! There's too many.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we're missing like Backlot Stunt
Griffin.
Coaster, you're missing Dominator, you're missing
Well, I mean,
Loch Ness
okay.
Monster. Dominator is pretty good though. I will say Dominator, I think
forget what Dominator is.
Dominator is the one in the front of King's Dominion, the orange one with the
Oh,
big loop.
that is a good one. Honestly,
You
I
stick
don't know
with
if
the
I'm in
top
love
5?
with Griffin. I don't think I'm in love with
You're
Griffin.
not in love
So
with
I think
Griffin.
Alpengeist. Then I did like Dark Coaster. I like the speed of it. I
Dude,
like
Dark
the
Coaster was like, that coaster, I was going into it thinking this thing is going to be a load of crap. Like, cause like I let a lot of people
I don't
tell
love
me.
the theme.
Yeah,
like
the
they
theme
could
is
definitely rework
stupidly hard to follow. But I remember everybody's like, you're gonna wait 2 hours for it. You're gonna go into it, and it's gonna be a family coaster. And obviously,
not a family
it's executed really nicely. The queue line and everything.
They work
And-
it fast.
Yeah. So what he just said, like, I think we waited maybe 12 minutes, 15 minutes.
Well, the line itself
minutes
was
tops.
bad. The line itself was
We didn't wait
long, but
outside,
we
though.
didn't wait
We
that
we
long.
weren't in the outside queue, and I thought, oh god, this is gonna be like a laugh track situation. Like I don't know how many rooms we're gonna have to go through. I don't know where we're gonna be. So like, it's obviously this is making me like not angry, but I'm progressively getting more and more like, this is to get this coaster. You know, it's just becoming more and more of a stress. And then we get on it, and it's very very good. It's well executed, the elements and whatnot, and like I go into it thinking, it's going to be a family coaster, kiddie coaster, nothing too great. But no, it's a pretty good coaster. It caught me by surprise. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Better than I-305 though.
Yeah.
No way. Dark coaster.
Oh, no.
Okay,
No.
thank God.
I think I-305 definitely takes.
All right, so I-305 is like 6 or 7, I think, right now. So you said number 1 is Apollo's Chariot, number 2 is Twisted Timbers, 3 is Pantheon, 4 is Flight of Fear, 5 is Alpengeist, 6 is I-305, 7 is Dominator, Dark Coaster.
Dark Coaster.
Okay, and then Griffin and Dominator are probably somewhere.
I think Griffin
Dominator.
might take 10.
Okay, so Dominator 8, 9,
Dominator's
and 10.
9.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot to workshop with a lot of that too, because
for sure.
Yeah,
And that's just
obviously
off
I'm
the
not
top
a
of your head.
doozy, right? I'm not ready to just be like, well, I like this twist and this turn and this whatever. It's just like, no,
I think for me, the coasters that we got on specifically, I'd go number 1, I-305. Number 2 is probably Twisted Timbers. 3 is Alpengeist. 4, I'll feed into it. Apollo's Chariot was running beautifully that trip.
Nice.
So 4 will go Apollo's Chariot. 5 will go Pantheon. No, honestly, this entire trip, I was having more fun on Flight of Fear than I was on Pantheon. So
Yeah.
5 will go just for pure fun, not ranking the best, just for pure fun.
and air conditioning.
Yeah,
let's
we're
not
going
forget.
Flight of Fear. And it was, dude, that thing
There was
was
no line.
pulling some wild forces in the front row, too.
Yeah,
that
there
thing
was
was
no
intense.
line, and we just
It wasn't losing
rocked
speed at
through
all,
it.
too. Like
Yeah.
that final 0G roll, or corkscrew, that thing was, we were slamming into the final brake run. That mid-course wasn't really doing anything to us.
Here's
either.
the question, because I don't know if I remember the name, but I know what coaster it was. What was the worst of all of the rides that we had? What was the worst in your opinion?
I think Anaconda, probably.
Really?
I'd say Anaconda or
What's the one?
the second half of Grizzly.
In
Are you thinking of
BG?
the blue one? Tempesto?
Was it
No.
Tempesto?
I don't think so.
The one that goes backwards?
Oh, okay.
Is that Tempesto?
Yeah.
I thought
The
that ride
skyrocket
was
too.
awful. Like
You didn't like it?
The restraints,
Yeah,
the
the
way that you
restraints
get
suck.
in, the way that you get out.
That is another very popular opinion. People like the actual ride, they just hate the trains.
And I don't know if I like. The ride was fun, I guess. It was
Mm-hmm.
very quick and like a little just like, all right, we're gonna whip you around in this little tiny section. It seemed like it
Yeah.
was like there was nothing really special about it.
It's very
It wasn't like-
clonable. There are multiple of those
Yeah,
everywhere.
I believe that.
I want to know what you thought. We talked about the majority of the coasters, but we didn't touch on this coaster. I can't stand it. I trashed it pretty heavily when we were there, and you were like, "No, it's good." But what are your thoughts on Pantheon? Because you're like,
You did trash it pretty hard.
okay, here's my thing, and everybody gets mad at me about this because I have made multiple videos on how horrendous I think this ride is, and I'm actually writing another one that's going to come out very shortly from when this episode drops. It's just like I will never not have fun on a roller coaster. I always take the opportunity to ride a roller coaster, and I'm gonna think of it in the most positive way, and I'm gonna have fun. So regardless of my smiles or like how much fun I was having, regardless of my reactions to the elements, I'm always gonna take it up to have fun on a coaster. That doesn't mean that the coaster is actually good. But what are your thoughts on Pantheon?
Let me think. All right, so there was 1, 2. I would say maybe like 4 sections of that ride, just little like elements of it that I found really cool. But the rest of it's like,
It doesn't really do much.
yeah. I mean, like when it speeds you up at the beginning, and when it speeds you up going backwards,
The backwards,
and then again
that
forwards.
that little pop of airtime, over
Yeah,
the
and
little,
then the zero
bunny
gravity
hill.
turn.
Okay,
fun.
yeah, the stall is your
The
you stall
stall's
upside
fun,
down.
yeah.
And the wave, the wave turn. At the end of the ride.
And like that's pretty much it. Like there's only 3 or 4. Like I said, like those elements are very cool and very like, and the theming's kind of cool, but it seemed a little like they maybe stopped theming after
Yes, so I
after a
don't know if I
minute
like to
or
bring
two?
this up, but like also you didn't read the script, but like on this video I go so hard on Pantheon steaming. Like it's a budget cut piece of crap. Like
Oh,
it's like
jeez.
think of like the station compared to every other station in that park. Like
Yeah.
Alpengeist, you're in a ski lodge in the
Right.
Alps. Apollo's Chariot, you know, like they have the curtains up and whatnot, and it looks like, you know, you're actually like in a stable a little bit. It's a little
Yeah,
harder to follow there.
it
But
definitely
you go to like
looks like-
Griffin, and the lighting fixtures are beautiful.
Yeah.
These huge chandeliers, and
And the water
yeah.
section of that and everything.
And then you get
yeah.
to like Pantheon, and it's just like it's a pavilion in a grass field. Like that's not what the Pantheon looks like. Can we like try a little bit harder? And how good Dark Coaster's theme too?
Yeah, Dark Coaster
It's
has
so underwhelming, and the queue
a
line
lot
is
of money into it.
unbearable for
Yeah.
Pantheon. Unbearable.
Yeah.
And the crew just can't keep up with the line that it gets to. That queue line fills up really quick, and that crew is not fast enough.
Yeah.
You were even talking about how bad Pantheon's operations were.
Yeah.
For you to bring that up too, even like somebody who's like, I specifically look for that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make or break my trip, but like for you to even mention
Yeah, I
that, that's
mean-
kind of like, all right, come on, you guys gotta try a little bit harder here. Come on. There was a lot of fun moments. We had a blast with Nick, getting rained out and just like trying to find something better to do. The car breaking down and having to resolve that, and then like just you know the freedom to just like, all right, we're gonna leave now, go get food,
Yeah.
and then you know come back and like obviously you know, like we could like use it as my perks as a season pass. So like
Oh, yeah.
we just like kept going back.
Just
if we
going with the
wanted to.
flow, doing
Yeah.
what we wanted to do.
And there's just like a lot of like fun, memorable moments that we had in there. You know, when you actually talk about it and realize like everything that happened, like your lunch at King's Dominion, like chicken steak, like it's just like
Chicken
dude,
steak.
that was a fun trip. That was
Yeah.
good. So overall, I mean, I know I had a good time reminiscing on the past.
I
all
would
the way
say
back in
I'd say
August.
7.5 out of or 8 out of 10 for sure.
I might drop down to like 8.7 maybe.
Yeah, I think it was like, yeah, it's just the adventure, like the
Heck yeah.
ups and the downs. You know, it wasn't super like tough to manage. Like we were very
No.
much go with the flow. Like we
And it
just
wasn't
did
like
everything.
it was overly expensive too.
No.
Like if we were traveling and doing other things, gotta find a place to go next year. This is the only camera that is still alive, and it's probably about to die. So, with all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode of Coaster Talk. Here with Zach. Hope you had a great time doing this. Glad we finally got to do it after like 2 months of trying.
Heck yeah.
I don't know, where should we go next this year now, 2024?
Oh,
Where
you
should
know
we go?
what? I was thinking we should go over towards like Pittsburgh, Ohio, up towards Cleveland. you
Okay.
know, a little Milwaukee
Cedar Point's
area.
up there.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we got some Kennywood.
Oh yeah.
All righty. Like the Erie area, we can hit up Waltham. here.
Heck yeah.
That's very much like Knoebels.
Honestly,
All
I
right.
think that would be the greatest place to go.
we got some planning to do. I'll see you guys in a year from now when we can talk about our 2024 trip.